What's up, Rolly Quacked fans? We got a special episode for you guys today, especially you Ducks fans out there. We got the one, the only, your Anaheim Ducks public address announcer, Phil Hulett. How you doing, Phil?
Cody, I'm doing well. Gary, how are you?
Great. Glad to have you here.
Glad to have you.
I'm happy to be
our
here.
first Ducks guest an interview episode.
Before we get to the questions, could you just do me a quick favor and wish my wife Vicky a happy birthday today?
Wow, Vicky, happy birthday. How about that?
Awesome.
And
Thank you.
You put up with Gary all this time? That's something. That is saying
a miracle.
It is a miracle. I'm surprised this hasn't been a solo podcast.
Yeah. Man, I can hear Vicky now. Are you doing that podcast again?
Oh no, she's a avid Ducks fan.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's our worst critic, and if you talk to her, and she's going to hear this anyways when she listens to it. She's the executive producer, according to her.
Oh.
Yeah, she just announced randomly, I'm the executive producer.
Well, let her know that typically when you have that title, that means that you're bankrolling some or all of the program.
No, that's all me. I do everything pretty much on this.
Well, you're the executive
Well, I
producer.
help with the money part, but
he's the money. Yeah.
He is definitely royally quacked, does just about everything. So, and I can't say how proud I am of what he's done and how he does it.
Stop it, you guys. I'm about to cry.
He's a keeper, as he always tells us.
I was a goalkeeper in soccer growing up, so
Okay.
That's why it's the keeper joke.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got you.
So, first question, Phil. What first inspired you to become a PA announcer?
It was total accident and fate. Combination of the two. And I've told this story plenty of times, but I was sitting in an office. I was a regional sales manager for a radio station that had two offices, one in Santa Monica, another in Newport Beach. I was sitting in the Newport Beach office. My sales team was out. I was doing nothing but perusing an Orange County catalog of businesses. It was a business directory, looking for new leads possibly, and just picking up the phone and calling, because that's what you do when you're in sales, right? It's advertising sales. And so I opened up the business directory, and the first two pages we call a double truck in the advertising lingo for the Angels. And the main office phone number was on there, and I thought, hey, I had an idea. I'm not going to call them to sell advertising. I'm going to call up, and I did. And I said, hi, may I speak to the person who's in charge of your public address announcer? And the lady said, please hold. And then a guy picked up. I wish I remember his name, but I don't. He picked up, and I said, I had introduced myself, told him who I was, that I'd been on radio forever and voiceovers, commercials, that sort of thing. And I'd love to come down if he's into it, just shoulder hop his current guy. And if you ever need somebody, you probably have a backup already, but if you ever need somebody, I'd be there for you, and I'd knock it out of the park, to use the right metaphor. So I said, what do you say? He said, well, when can you come down tomorrow? And I said, okay. So the Angels in 1994 had a homestand against the Seattle Mariners, and David Courtney was the public address announcer at the time, and I got to sit with him in this tiny little box. This was before they rebuilt Angel Stadium, at least the inside of it. And to the right of me was a window, and Gene Autry, the Angels owner, was sitting right there with a baseball hat on, not a baseball, with a cowboy hat on and boots. And he was at every game in a special chair, like a Barco lounger or something like that. And no kidding. He was like arm's length away from me, but there was glass. So no pressure, boys. So David Courtney, he was my mentor. Great guy. He was the announcer for the Angels and for the Kings at the time. And they would need a backup when there was a conflict with the Kings and the Angels. So he would defer to the Kings, and the backup would do the Angels. So I watched the first game, learned the ropes. David taught me everything as though I already was the backup. And I thought that was cool. And I learned a lot of things that I carry on with me today. And the second game, I watched him again. Third game, he said, all right, Phil, you're going to do the middle 3 innings today. Ooh, that's exciting. Gene Autry's right there. So it was a little nerve-wracking. But, I have a way of getting over my nervousness, and I did that, did the middle 3 innings. And Ken Griffey Jr. was on the Mariners at the time. I announced his at-bat 3 times that day in 3 innings. It worked out kind of nice. He had a home run, a triple, and a single. And
Wow.
that season was shortened due to a labor dispute, and most baseball pundits say that due to the amount of home runs that Griffey had hit prior to the season ending, he might have gotten more than 80 that season had he kept going on the tear that he was on. So we'll never know.
Wow.
But Ken Griffey Jr. was one of the greatest players ever, at least prior to that shutdown of the season. So that's where I started, 1994, and I've been the backup ever since. And this season, I'm going to do a lot of games because Michael Araujo, who's been the public address announcer for the Angels for now some 12, 15 years, something like that, since David Courtney passed away. He also has some fairly big commitments for an event I'm not allowed to say out loud, but it just means that I'm going to get more than a dozen games this season, maybe like 15 games, and I typically get anywhere from 4 to 8. So,
Wow.
lots of games. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Hopefully we will get to go to one you're doing the public announcing for.
Yeah. Well, we'll make it memorable if we can.
Absolutely. Love that.
Yeah. Who were the voices you looked up to when you were getting started?
Well, when I was a kid, the one voice I looked up to the most was Chick Hearn, the play-by-play announcer for the Lakers. And I used to be able to impersonate him really well by the age of 12. And I had the best basketball driveway in the neighborhood, and all the kids used to come around and play basketball in my driveway. Had a key painted on the driveway, and we just played a lot of ball at my house. And as we played, I would do the play-by-play, and it was fun, and I got real good at it. But as I got older and became interested in girls and other things that you do when you're a teenager, and your voice changes and all that sort of thing, I started thinking more about being on the radio as a disc jockey. And so I kind of left all of that. I've been 6'2" since I was maybe 15 and a half, 16. And I was relatively tall prior to that for my age. And so when I was coming up learning basketball, I was taught how to be a center and a strong forward. And by the time I got into high school, and even though I went JV in my freshman year, and I was the top scorer at our park league, so I got scouted by the coach, so he put me on the JVs. But then what I found out was that 6'2" was short even in high school for basketball, and he wanted me to be a guard, and I never learned how to be a guard. So that was one and done for me with basketball. And I moved into volleyball, and I started surfing when I was 15, and so surfing will take you right out of the game too, because it's a different frame of mind entirely. I surf to this day. I don't play volleyball to this day. Tried out for volleyball at Cal State Long Beach, where some pretty big names, Olympians, came out of. This would have been 1977. And leading up to that, the summer leading up to that semester, I was playing every day on the beach and every night at my high school's gym. And I was really good. but I was 6'2", so I tried out, and the coach came over to me. He said, "Hey, you're pretty good, but there's our varsity team over there. Take a look. What do you notice?" They're all tall. He said, "Yeah, the shortest guy's 6'5", and everybody is like upwards to 6'9". You could be a setter if you want to, which I wasn't trained to be. You could be a setter, but we have 5 of those. You'd be number 6, and you likely won't play, but you'd be on the team." And he said, "It's up to you." I decided not to, and I joined the rowing team. Okay.
Interesting.
So there's the history of sports, a la Phil Hulett, and what you might notice missing is hockey. I didn't follow hockey. I didn't play hockey. I didn't follow the Kings. I went to a California Sharks. Is that what they were called? Way back in the day.
Okay.
There was another league, the Pacific League, or maybe it was the Golden Seals. I don't know, but they played at the. I want to say I saw the game, believe it or not, at the Anaheim Convention Center.
Yeah.
In the
That wouldn't surprise me.
In the arena that they have there. Because I don't know if it's still there, but I saw concerts there too growing up.
So
but no hockey in my upbringing. When I got into public address for hockey teams, and that's another story entirely. That's when I started to get into it, and so by your standards, Gary, I'm a newbie to the game.
yeah, I was a fan even at 9.
Wow.
It's funny you talked about. I didn't play any kind of hockey till I was 27, when all these friends I played softball they were all from back east. Hey, let's go play street hockey.
Yeah.
And that's how I got really interested in hockey. And then the fever just hit me even after I stopped playing that. And, obviously the whole Mighty Ducks movies, I swore, honestly, Phil, that if they ever came out with a team called the Mighty Ducks, I'd never go to a game. Well, I lied because Cody was in a stroller the first practice at the Hana Center, or Pond, as we would used to call it.
Yeah.
He was just a baby when that happened, and I was really looking forward to seeing if I could see or meet Paul Correa at the time.
Yeah.
So we were there. He was in a stroller.
Wow.
So we went to the very first practice that they opened for the public. So
that is something. So
I have no recollection of any of this.
Yeah.
I did have just an offbeat question to, you said Long Beach volleyball.
Yeah.
A guy I played basketball named Kurt Hansen was like 6'7". He had a scholarship to Long Beach. I didn't know if you ever met Kurt.
No, he wasn't on the rowing team. It would have been good to have him on the varsity rowing team, because that's another tall sport, believe it or not.
Well, he played basketball, and he was a backup at 6'7".
Wow.
He wasn't once he got older and grew into his body, he became a really good basketball player. I mean, probably better than I ever was. I was all league my senior year as a guard at 5'11". But but that's high school.
Yeah.
It's funny because Phil and I kind of had a similar basketball experience in a way. Like, I was also tall for my age, I was always the center. I was, the only person on my team, elementary through until high school. I was the only one that was over 6 foot, really. And I stopped growing at 6'3". And then when we started playing other all-star teams, I realized, oh my God, I'm the shortest dude on their team.
Yeah, right. And the shot selection that I had was completely useless, because I used to emulate Chamberlain and Jabbar, so I had a great finger roll, I had a great sky hook, and I played underneath the rim for the most part, and none of that translated.
I was not I was okay offensively. I would say my best trait was boxing people out. That was pretty much it.
There you go.
You were good at that.
Yeah, I said I was, a foot shorter than the other team center, because I was the team center for our team, but we did not get out rebounded when he was in.
What were you feeding Cody, Gary? Was he? Were you thick? Were you a heavy guy?
in high
Because
school,
I was 6'2" in high school. I was 6'2" and 160 pounds. So I wasn't blocking anybody out.
I was maybe, 180 in high school? Almost.
Okay.
I mean, I ate. I'm surprised I didn't bankrupt my parents the way I ate growing up. Like 8 bowls of cereal in the morning.
I do have stories about how he used to eat. But,
I already heard you on another podcast talking about.
No, we're not going to do that.
We need a calculator, for parents who successfully raised, successful adults. We need a calculator to look back. You know how they have those inflationary calculators? You could say, all right, this cost $100 back in 1929, and so today, by today's money, it's like $6,000. So it'd be nice to see how much it cost us to feed our kids, and then put it in the inflationary calculator and say, okay, by today's standards, this is how much Cody would bankrupt the family.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he did eat quite a bit, but
I did. I'm not going to deny that.
I'll still keep him.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So how did you get the Anaheim Ducks PA announcer job?
Okay. The first guy did the first season, and I apologize, I've forgotten his name, but he did the first season and then either quit or got let go by Disney. I'm not sure what it was. And then Mike Carlucci came in, did the next 2 seasons. By then, I had already auditioned for and won the gig for Jeannie Buss and her roller hockey team, the Los Angeles Blades. At the end of the first season of the Blades, I was contacted by somebody from the Long Beach Ice Dogs who said, what are you doing during the regular season? And I said, I don't know, working for you? And they said, yeah, sure, come on over. And then I became the Long Beach Ice Dogs public address announcer, doing more or less the kind of announcing that I'm doing now for the Ducks, with a couple of exceptions that I don't think I was going to be able to add, and I'm probably right, to the repertoire, just from major league sensibilities. I don't want to piss too many people off in the league, but I did when I came up. But at the end of the first season with the Ice Dogs, Disney called me and said, "Hey, what are you doing during the regular season?" I said, "I don't know, working for you." And they said, "Okay, come on over." And so the 4th season was the 96-97 season. That's when I started, and Disney wanted me to bring that minor league feel to the majors. Total homer, and doing the goals the way I do them now, and just pure excitement. Because when I came in the league, everybody was very, the announcing was very conservative and staid, and down the up the freeway, David Courtney probably would have said, Los Angeles goal scored by number, right? But I didn't do it that way in the minors. I was hitting the high notes like I do now. And so I got a lot of pushback from the league when that started. I even got some pushback from folks inside of the organization. We got to the playoffs the first time, and they said, "Hey, Phil, we want you to back off on the enthusiasm on the goal calls in the playoffs." And I said, "Dude, don't you want to bring what brung us?" And they said, "Well, this kind of came from up above." And I said, "Okay." So first game, I announced the goals, just kind of normal and like old school normal. And there was apparently a hue and cry from the fans. And the second game, they said, "All right, Phil, go back to the way you normally do it." And so, and that happened again the next time we went to the playoffs. It happened, at least twice. And in each case, they recanted and said, "All right, you do you, boo."
Well, I got to tell you, I think the flair, sometimes what you're doing, that excites the fans, and they're even into the game even more. So every little aspect of going to a game is incredible, and I think I would really appreciate that flair like you have, because it just gets everybody into the game. Now they're going, "Hey man, I want to go back."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's I get a lot of positive feedback from the fans, and in the comments on Instagram and Facebook, and it's encouraging. And if anybody, and I collect those, in a little file folder. And if anybody ever says, Phil, we need you to back off on the enthusiasm, I'm just going to pull that file folder out and say, okay, here are your fans. And they're the ones you're going to hear from in the morning if I do what you say I should do. So at this stage of my career, I've learned I don't want to be recalcitrant or confrontational with my bosses. But hey, you know what? I think I'm part of the fabric now, and like you say, part of the show. And what makes it a show? I mean, it's a game. We call it a show sometimes because let's face it, it's entertainment.
It's
escape.
entertainment.
It's escape. It's all that. We're fans, but we're going to the game to escape our daily lives and be in that moment with the team. And it's hard to explain from a psychological standpoint what happens to us, but we start to foam from the mouth and make noises that we don't know how we make those noises. They come out of our face while the game is happening, and the camera hits us and we chug a beer, and the last time we did that was in high school. And so things happen when you're at a game, and it's just an unusual experience. There's a feedback loop that we all fall into, and you add to it that you really love your team and you really want your team to win. And you guys are bigger homers than I am when you come to your games. But I've got to tap into your energy to get my energy. And that's how it works. It really is. It may seem like it's the other way around, but I'm tapping into your energy. To go absolutely nuts on that microphone.
Well,
I love that part.
I'm going to tell you this as a huge Ducks fan, diehard fan. I love your calls. Please don't ever change it. I'll save this recording and I'll send it to you so you can send to whoever you need to. Because I do this even from home. I'm watching my game. I usually watch my games from my computer right here.
Yeah.
And I will I can hear your announcing through my headset. I'm going along with you. I'm going along with you at the games. Your calls are iconic to me.
Well, thanks. I tried something this season. It didn't work out, and they told me to stop. And I didn't know how to encourage the fans. I got everybody to say power play, which was exciting, and it's really going well. I mean, the crowd.
JMG Power Play.
Yes, and the owner of JMG said, "Phil, you came up with another thing. It's great. I love it." So all right, so I knew that was good. But what I wanted, you know how some of the other teams, like East Coast teams, the announcer will announce the goal, and then he'll go woo, and then the crowd will go woo. Well, I thought we should do something like that, but it should be quack, right?
Oh my God!
And so we get one goal, it's one quack. 2 goals, 2 quacks. 3 goals, 3 quacks. So I tried that, but I would say quack, and then everybody was confused. And then after doing it it was either 2 or 3 games, the front office, management, whoever, I don't know where it came from exactly, but my direct person who I interact with said, "Phil, don't do that quack thing with your goals." I said, "Okay, that's fine." I didn't feel like I needed to explain it. Did you do that at the
home opener?
I might have, yeah.
I was at the home opener, so
it might not have been the home opener. Might have been the next 2 or 3 games after that.
Okay.
Because I talked about it on social media during the preseason, and I don't think enough people to create that synergy. I don't think enough people saw that or bought into it or even understood how it should work, because it's an East Coast thing. All the East Coast teams do that. They do something, either a woo or a who knows what it is, and it would just be nice to have a quack. But unless it happens organically, if we can get an entire section to surreptitiously just start it on their own,
Hey, Cody.
Okay, hold on.
We're going tomorrow. Let's do it.
Phil, I've said
Anaheim
this.
Ducks goal scored by number 45, Beckett Seneca, assisted by number 20, Chris Kreider, and number 2, Jackson Lacombe. Time of the goal, 6:25. Hang on, again, the goal by Seneca from Kreider and Lacombe at 6:25. Quack.
Quack.
Okay. So the next goal, it's 2 quacks. Next goal, 3 quacks, right?
Got you.
So
Phil,
quack.
Hey, we're gonna
Quack.
participate. We're gonna participate tomorrow. We'll try to get the fans into it, because
it would have been good. It would have been good against the Sharks to try it then, because we had 6 opportunities.
Yes, it wouldn't really have worked against Nashville, but
no.
But Phil, it's funny that you say that because so I was listening to when the Ducks played in Nashville earlier this year, how the P announcer works with the crowd.
Yeah,
And
like
I
big time.
said
He's great at it. Yeah.
Yes, he is. I think Paul is his name.
Yes. Paul.
Yeah, because I went to Nashville a few weeks ago and I went to a Predators game, and I called ahead. I even asked fans around like, hey, like, what are the chances? Because I hear it through the TV, and I'm like, I love it. I'm like, because it gave me like, I'm a huge soccer person. It gave me soccer vibes, like European soccer, and and also it gives me like LA Galaxy vibes because they would do like, oh, goal scored by Landon, and then the whole arena would go Donovan, and he'd go number 10 Landon, and then he'll say thank you, and then the whole crowd would say you're welcome. And I'm like, I want that at the Ducks games. So when you were saying I wanted to get the crowd, I was like, yes, that's what I want, Phil. I 100% agree with this.
You know, it's funny, Cody. I was thinking this when we went to the Galaxy games and that happened, how much fun it was.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a true fan, you're going to participate. Mm-hmm. And we did. We were screaming, you know, what was it?
That is typically a soccer team. Yeah, that's a soccer thing, definitely. And there's that minor league soccer team that plays in Irvine at what's the giant park there with the balloon? What's it called? Gosh, I should know. I have a daughter.
Is that where the ice rink is for the rookie faceoff was?
Yeah. 5 points.
5 Point Arena.
But then there's the other. There you go. That's the. Yeah. What was the park again?
Great Park Ice.
Yeah, it's Great Park, and there's a soccer stadium in there somewhere.
Okay.
And there's a minor league team that plays there, and they do the same thing. They when I got to do the intros one night, and I announced the first names, and the fans announced the last names, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that like the NHL is such a gate-driven league and people want to be entertained during the game, and I feel like that's a good way to keep everyone entertained is when you're involved.
Yeah.
Audience
it's
participation.
another level. We have so many levels of the games. You know, all the teams now, they have DJs. We have DJ JoJo, and you know, there's the party mode, and there's the karaoke moments. You know, where he'll play a song into a puck drop, and then people will keep singing after the play has already started, and all these little audience participation moments add an extra level to the excitement. But you know, it's weird. I talked to some older guys, hockey purists. There's this one guy I talked to who's from Montreal, you know, and he's got a huge collection of Montreal Canadiens stuff from the 1960s and maybe even older than that. He's got a lot of original Six stuff, and he's a hockey purist, and he just wants an announcer and an organ. That's it. Just the organ and an announcer, and nothing fancy, just hockey. And I think if you're a hardcore purist, you probably would be able to resolve that after spending several $100s on a ticket and some drinks and parking. But for everybody else, I think you're probably looking for more of an experience than that. And the Ducks have done real well. It's been an evolution over the years, but they've done real well to turn this into a multimedia, multi-sensory experience. And I think it's great.
Loving what they're doing.
We were there when what was it when Cutter was there.
You're talking about the flock party?
That was a lot of fun. And they talked about what they were going to be doing to the arena. Yeah. And we have experienced that. It's I'm going to be honest. I know I'm a Kings fan, but I love going to Honda Center to watch a game. Yeah. I do.
Well, they're getting real close to finishing, or I don't know how close they are to finishing, but that Legacy Club that's at the opposite end of the Zamboni corner, that takes up the better part of 2 levels. There's going to be a full bar up there with, it looks like, and I can't tell you exactly what it's going to look like because I haven't seen the renderings, but I can just imagine by looking at it because none of the seats are in there, but there's a rail that looks like there would be stools and round tables, and then behind them is a full bar, and I think it's going to be a premium space. You know, they're calling it the Legacy Club, and so and there's 2 levels, and once they start putting the seats in, I mean, if they get that done in time for the playoffs, wow! Can you imagine getting in there? You have your tickets for the playoffs yet?
It's no, not yet.
I don't know. How does that work? Do you have to buy all the way to the end of to the final? Is that how you have to do it?
So this is only my second Ducks game of the year. I was literally at the home opener, and then tomorrow will be my second game. What's the matter with you? I live in Temecula.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, and with my work, I start work at 6 a.m. in the morning. And I said, and I'm a propane delivery driver, so sometimes I don't know when I'm getting off work.
Yeah.
So usually games are a lot harder for me to go to. I wish I can go to more.
Well, with all that flammability in your truck, please do get a full night's rest.
Yes, trust me. I do care about that.
He is very safe.
Yes.
You know, I work in Orange County, but I live in Menifee, which is just north of Temecula.
My goodness.
And I don't get off work typically till 7:30 when the games are starting.
You're a Kings fan and you live in Menifee.
Yeah. I've been a Kings fan since I was 9 years old.
Okay. So you know how to say a Rogie
Well, we lived in Lake Forest, and then we moved out to Menifee in early 2000s.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's nice out there. I've been to your Costco.
You know what? I mean, I support hockey, and Ducks are part of hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching Pittsburgh and the Bruins play just before we got on. I was in my family room watching hockey.
Wow.
I'm a big hockey fan. So
Menifee is Riverside County or San Diego?
Yes, Riverside.
We're
just Temecula is right on the border of San Diego.
Right. Yeah, once you go like Temecula is like where Pachanga is. The hotel.
I've been to Temecula, little wineries, and stopped at the Costco in Menifee, and right? Isn't there a Costco in Menifee?
Marietta, Menifee.
Marietta. Okay.
Yeah, there's one in Marietta, one in Temecula. We are getting one in Menifee. It's not built yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, good news. All you people living in Menifee, we're going to get a Costco. Let's go back to Phil, though.
So I have another question, and I'm curious if I might know this answer because I was at one of these the Ducks games, but I'm curious what your answer is going to be. What's the most chaotic or unexpected moment you've had to announce?
Oh, it just happened. It just happened a couple weeks ago.
Which one?
Let me see if I can look it up real quick. But this was when the Maple Leafs came in town.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Ty Domi wanted to exact revenge. Not only on Gudas for taking out Matthews, but he wanted to take out as many of the core top players as possible. And you mentioned Cutter. I don't know that Domi had anything to do with it, but Cutter's been out since that game. I frankly didn't see what happened, but there was a penalty, and I got to look this up real quick because I posted something about it. Give me a second, because it was absolutely crazy. The referee riffed on an actual element from the rule book and came up with his own series of penalties for Domi after his second fight, and
for the aggressor one.
Yeah, there you go, aggressor. Okay, so in the rule book there is a 2-minute penalty for aggressor. So he got
the 10-minute.
He got a 5-minute fighting.
Yeah.
He got a 2-minute aggressor. He got a 10-minute misconduct and a game misconduct. Okay, so that's the way I understand it after the fact. But as it was happening, it was explained to me 4 or 5 different ways. Because the guy that I communicate with through the headset, who's down on the ice, where I should be, but the league, for whatever reason, since 2020, booted all the public address announcers off the ice, and so I'm up in the rafters. So I have to communicate with the lead off-ice official, who communicates with the referees, even though the rule book says the referee communicates with the public address announcer. So yeah, it's maddening. But anyway, so. And this wouldn't have happened had I been down there on the ice, by the way. Are you listening, Mr. Bettman? But so
I'm tagging him now.
the off-ice official heard the explanation from the referee and communicated it to me, and it was completely different from what I just said. So he said the first one was a 5-minute aggressor major plus fighting. And I said, well, why did Domi just skate off to the locker room? There's more than 10 minutes left in the period. And he said, I don't know. He said, but say this. So I started announcing the penalties, and he got into my headset again. He said, wait, Phil, you need to say it this way. So I had to correct it while I was announcing it. Oh. And then he said, oh, no, it'd be better. All right, hang on, Phil. So I'm in the middle of announcing it, and then I said something, that probably wasn't real fluid, but I said, look, we'll get some clarity on this penalty in a little bit. But in the meantime, the Ducks are, and I thought the Ducks were on a power play, because initially they put up a 2-minute penalty, and that's all they put up. But then they took that off. So it was even strength, and I was about to go to a JMG Power play, and it was total chaos. And so the next whistle, I got some clarity on the penalty, and I re-announced it. And then after the intermission was over, the off-ice official came to me and said, okay, here's what the penalty officially is. And I said, bro, I'm not going to say it anymore, okay? This is not great. And so he said, okay, whatever. And so I heard about that after the game was over. Everybody was saying, look, you got to, know what you're going to say before you say it. Okay. I didn't just start doing this week, right? It was a rare situation where there was actual chaos going on. And I had, while I was announcing the thing, I was getting conflicting information after I had already thought I was clear on what the penalty was. So it was ugly, it was chaotic, and it's still an open sore for me. It's an open wound that hasn't healed yet, and I feel badly about that, because I want what I say to be perfect, and what the public address announcer says makes elements of the game official, and the rule book says that things aren't official until I announce them. So when I announce them wrong, it's bad, and I feel bad about that, and maybe the fans don't even notice or don't even care, but all the guys in the front office and all the off-ice officials and the league, and George Peros was there that night, because he figured he was going to have to police whatever was going to happen, and all of that stuff happened, so he was there and he got to watch it in person. So our brass, they were already on edge, because a guy from the NHL was, a guy from the league was in the building. And so here I am making up stuff on the microphone, although it sounded, to them. But it's not exactly what happened, but it doesn't matter. I mean, my intention was to be clear, and I was totally unclear, and it was chaotic. And I'm glad you asked that question, and I'm glad I got it off my chest, but I still feel really bad about it, and I can't let it go.
So that wasn't really all your fault, because you were getting fed the wrong information.
Yeah, but ultimately the buck stops with me, because my mic is on.
Yeah, well, that's just like the guy didn't interfere with Husso and they got a goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that just was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen.
Nothing I can do about that, right?
I'm just saying,
With my mic off, I'm saying, come on! But
I mean, my wife is yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
I think it was there.
Yeah.
And I saw it.
Oh, it was in. I think that one was in auto.
Yeah, I was watching.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I watched that.
She was watching it on
game
TV, and I think I was home.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I was watching it in the family room. She was watching it back in the bedroom, and she goes, she's yelling. I go, yeah, she goes, that's just not right. And I go, you're right. It's not right. I don't care who you are. If you even would hate the Ducks, that's wrong. That play was definitely interference on him.
Yeah, it was.
Should have been called. Went to video. So I go, hey, George Peros, why don't you get that straight?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, that was just a no-brainer to me.
I finally got my blood pressure down from the 6-game losing streak. Don't bring something that's going to bring up my blood pressure again. But
here's what that was. That 6-game losing streak was strategy. The Ducks were giving the other teams that look like they're going to the postseason the false impression that they were in collapse.
Oh my God. That's the reel right there.
Yeah.
I'm posting that.
You're gonna be posted on a reel saying that. I actually love that. That's great.
That's funny. So the chaotic moment I was thinking was the home opener in 2023 against the Hurricanes, because I was at this game. It was right after Frank Vetrano scored the hat trick goal.
Yeah.
And they had the light things, and people were throwing them on the ice. And I remember you making an announcement saying, stop throwing it, because if you get caught throwing it, you're getting escorted out by the police.
Yeah.
Kind of
you could be ejected from the building and possibly face arrest.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that. So I was
don't throw it.
I wasn't going to throw mine. I was like, no, I got it. It's mine. I'm keeping it. I still have it.
That wasn't the night I said, no, really. Don't throw your stuff. Don't throw your stuff.
You did say that. Like, no, real, like, I'm not joking. You will be escorted out. And I was like, oh, I remember that. I was like, oh, okay. Don't throw. Like, I'm like, I wasn't going to throw it. I'm not dumb. I know better than that. But I remember that's the one I was thinking. But the Toronto one is definitely more chaotic.
Yeah.
That moment.
Yeah. An unfortunate chaotic moment.
Yes, a very.
There have been some chaotic moments. I can't recall them all, or any of them for that matter. But they ended up in a good way, and just sometimes I have to roll with the punches, and I just say what's off the top of my head, and it works out because I have this. I feel like I have a one-on-one dialogue with the fans. It's my philosophy that if I talk to one person, everybody hears me. If I talk to everybody, nobody pays attention.
I like that. That's good. That's deep. That is really deep.
Well, because when you're listening to me talk, it's just me inside your head. Your ears calculate the sound and tell your brain what I'm saying, and you're not working in concert with 17,000 other people. That's 17,000 brains. So if I talk to one person, then everybody's listening, and so that's why I use the word "you" a lot.
No,
when the copy I'm reading says, "Hey, Ducks fans," once in a while I'll do that. If it's like something pre-recorded, I'll do it. But if it's live, I'll say something like, "Here's something exciting you should hear about," or something to that effect. I'll just on the fly and oh, okay, now see, you're you, and you'll say, "Oh, he's talking to me," so you'll pay attention. But if I said, "Hey, fans, if you're one of the first 10,000 people through the door next Friday, all fans in attendance," that kind of thing. That's how the copy's usually written. And so now nobody's listening. But if I say, "Hey, if you come to Friday's game and you get through the door, if you're one of the first 10,000 people through the door, then you will get one of these. Check it out. Good. Isn't that cool?
That makes a total difference. But I have to be honest with you. Sometimes I'm driving. Yeah. And I'll be listening to the game, and there's a power play, and I'm waiting for your announcement. I go, I love it. I mean,
yes.
I even said something to Cody. I go, God, it'd be nice if the Kings did, something more exciting like that. It just
don't give Trevor any ideas.
All right. I have another question, because this is something we kind of talked about before we started recording. Yeah. What's the hardest name you've had to announce?
Oh, gosh. Well, Shakir Mukamadulin of the Sharks.
I was going to say that one I could see.
Yeah, that one's hard. But my first season or second season, and I wish I remember who it was. I have to look back at the old, NHL annuals. They used to put out an annual, and they had every player on every team in the annual. It was a hardcover book, and I used to have a bunch of those, but I think maybe I saved the ones from 1996 and 1997. But there was a player, and I found out how to pronounce his name properly. And the Ducks, Pat Verbeek's counterpart back in 1996-97 was a guy named Tony Tavares. And Tony used to call down to where I sat very often to talk to the lead off-ice official. And if he didn't like something I said, he would tell him, and then he'd tell me. And Tony was real hands-on that way. And he had a reputation for not liking a lot of stuff. I'll put it that way. And so there was a player, and I want to say his last name started with a B, but it was one of those multisyllabic names, but it wasn't pronounced anything like how it was spelled.
Do you remember the team?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Because I'm on NHL.com, and I could probably look it up pretty quick.
Might have been Phoenix, but yeah, it was like the 96 or the 97 season, one of those two, because Tavares was gone shortly after that. A different GM came in. And so I announced it properly, and then he called down and said, no, you have to say it this way. And he basically said it the way it was spelled. And I knew at the time, so the off-ice official said, Tony says to say it this way. And I said, well, I'm not gonna, because this is how it's pronounced. He said, you want to call Tony and tell him that? I said, no, I'm not going to ask for permission. I'll just ask for forgiveness later.
It's easier to do it that way.
That's the correct way to pronounce it. And okay, so Cody, this is our homework. This is our assignment between you and I, and it's a race somewhat to see who can come up with that name first. I've got to go through the entire roster of those two seasons and see if I could find that guy's name.
You said it was a Phoenix Coyote?
It might have been, and I think it started with a B, his last name, and I think he used to.
What year?
96, 97.
The 96, 97 season or the 97, 98 season, one of those two. But, when I say homework, I mean, I know you're at home, but I mean, this is your assignment to.
He's talking about.
Was it Nikolai?
It was a Canadian. Well, I don't know. What were you going to say? What's the last name?
Bulin?
Oh,
Khabibulin?
Khabibulin? No.
Yeah.
No, that's not who it was. Nikolai.
So you said it was a Canadian.
I can actually say that one, Cody.
Khabibulin was a goaltender. This guy was a goon.
You said he was Canadian?
I think he might have been, yeah, because but it might have been like a Slavic name too. But it was. I always want to say it was Bogievich, but that guy was in roller hockey. So.
Bogievich. That's a mouthful.
It is.
Not Trevodowski.
No.
Was it Teppo Numanen?
Nope.
No. It's a B. He said it starts with a B.
It wasn't a Finnish name. Teppo Numanen is Finnish.
So
it was like a Jean-Francois
Bojaman?
No. Jean-Francois Joff? Jomphe?
JF Joff? JF Joff. No, that wasn't it. It was it was gosh. See, this is I'll figure out what it is and I'll get a hold of you so you can announce it on your next episode.
You could text me. You have my number.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that.
It should be something you wake up in the middle of the night. Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Exactly. So, well, I've been hoping that would happen, but I've got to do the research now. Now that I've made it public, I have to back it up. All right, so I have a little time left for you.
Okay. I got a question for him.
All right.
Yeah.
What's something that the fans would be surprised to learn about the PA booth?
About the booth?
You and the booth.
Oh, about me or about the booth?
Both.
Oh. Surprised to know.
Cody wrote this question, so I think he's thinking of both. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the booth isn't a booth at all. It's what we call the LED room, and the assistant game day director sits next to me to my left. The game day director sits to her left, and then there are a couple of technical guys who sit to their left, who run the LED rings and the projection on the ice. That's a nice little feature that we added last season. And then directly behind me is another guy that handles the house lights. And so it's not a booth. I'd like to have a booth. It'd be nice. I've identified a couple of places that would make excellent booths in the building, but they're spoken for. And so, yeah, nothing too exciting there. And if you look, let's see, 28, like 423, 424, something like that. If you look directly up, there's a green rectangular opening up in the rafters, and you'll see heads in there. And usually I have a little light on, so I'm all the way to one side of that. And then Lindsay, the organist, is on the other side of the wall that separates me from the organist position.
Wow.
And so that's
we'll
where
look
I
for
am.
you tomorrow.
We're in 413.
Okay, so you have a straight shot to look straight across. You'll be able to see me. There shouldn't be anything disrupting your view because we don't have the scoreboard in between us. I mean, you're just on the other side of the Zamboni corner. I'm almost above the Zamboni corner. I'm just a little to the left of it, and then you're directly across. So you should be able to see me. But weird stuff about me? Oh, dude, I haven't written that book yet. When I do, I mean, I've had probably a dozen near-death experiences.
Wow.
Yeah, that's weird. You want to know one of them?
Sure.
We'd love to. I mean,
okay.
Sorry it happened, but we'd love to hear.
Yeah. Which is the one I want to tell you? Okay, so I'm like 6 or 7 years old. I want to say 7, and I'm at the public swimming pool with my mom. Okay, my mom takes me to the public swimming pool. I don't know where my sister is. If I'm 6, she's 3, so she must have been somewhere. I don't know where. But I was at the pool alone. 3 pools. There's a diving pool, cold water, 9 feet deep, something like that, 9 to 12 feet deep. I didn't go in there. There's also a kiddie pool where the water is warm and a different color. And then there's the Olympic pool, which starts at about 3 feet on either end, and it's about 5.5 feet in the middle. Okay, so I'm 6 years old. So what am I, 4 foot something, maybe. So I decide what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at one end of the pool, and I'm going to bunny hop my way all the way across the pool, jump up, go underwater, bend my knees and leapfrog or rabbit hop, whatever you want to call it, out of the water, and then hop all the way across. Okay, so I start doing that. The next thing I know, there's a lifeguard kissing me and a crowd of people standing around.
Wow.
And I'm laying on the side of the pool, and apparently I had almost drowned, because if you do drown, you're dead. But I almost drowned, and the lifeguard, back in those days, you didn't have to fill out a bunch of forms, and they didn't call Child Protective Services, or anything like that. It was just, life goes on. It's your responsibility. Deal with it. So the crowd was thrilled that I was alive. And I got up, and he said, "Where's your mom?" I said, "She's over there." So he said, "All right, go over to your mom." So I went to my mom, who was asleep and sunbathing through this entire episode, and I said, "Hey, Mom, I just drowned." And she said, "No, you didn't. Get back in the pool."
Oh.
Yeah, she got a good tan, and I almost died.
Yes, it sounds
So
like
there's
something
one.
moms would do.
Yeah, I've got others. That was one of the least harrowing ones, but I've got others. I'll put those in a book one day.
Well,
do you think I should do a podcast, like a one-off podcast, and just ask Phil whatever you want to ask? Nothing's off limits. Just do like an hour, and I don't know. Maybe I charge a fee for like VIPs who get to ask questions face to face, audibly, and everybody else has to submit their stuff in writing, and maybe some of those get asked and answered.
You could start like a Patreon, and then if you're subscribed, then I mean, if you're talking, people will listen, Phil.
You think so? Well, I'm just never mind the money factor, but you think people would be interested? Because I've considered doing that, just like a one-off, and just ask Phil whatever you want to ask me.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be a one-off.
I would think so.
I don't think it's to be a one-off because you're going to probably have a lot of questions from a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe I'll do it. And if it flops, I'll blame you, Cody.
No, blame him. I usually blame my dad for everything, so blame him.
They all blame me for everything is what they do. So I'm the sacrificial goat.
Yeah.
All right.
But Phil, we appreciate you taking this time to talk with us and ask you questions, and you giving amazing answers. Yeah. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Well, aside from Go Ducks, it's been since 2017, and the prospect of going to the postseason is exciting. I mean, it's been so long, I've kind of forgotten how it works, because we went a lot of seasons in a row.
I know.
For a while there, and it was becoming old hat, and I was accustomed to it, and things have probably changed. Hey, we had the pandemic in the middle of the last time we went to the playoffs, so things have probably changed a great deal. I don't know what's going to happen. I know the league likes getting involved with the teams the deeper that you get into the playoffs, and so to what degree that's going to happen, if they try to change anything, if they try to bring in a different announcer for the starting lineups or something like that.
I hope not.
Yeah, well, if they do, there's probably nothing I can do about it. But I will hope that my organization pushes back on that concept, because again, you bring what brung you, and I would expect the fans to be a little put off if something like that happened. So I hope it doesn't, because I like the guy that they usually bring in, and he's great. And so we'll see what happens, but I don't want to get too far ahead. One game at a time. We got to follow our playbook, and as long as we, work as a team and keep our legs moving, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get too far ahead, and I don't even know if we're going to have home ice advantage. And if we do games somewhere around April 17, 18, 19, something like that. If we are on the road, it's like 23rd to 27th, something like that, in that range. So either way, I am beside myself with excitement. I'm giddy like a little girl on Christmas Day.
Yeah,
if you're allowed to say that anymore, it's like all of that was politically incorrect.
No, I'm super excited that we have a chance to. I mean, we're not playing tonight, but we still have a chance to clinch just because of other games. There's 3 of the games we need to go our way. So, but
that's a lot.
It'd be nice to see Orange Country in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So the first power play tomorrow, I want an extra JMG Power play.
Yeah.
Give me your absolute best one. And I'm
you want one right now?
Well, sure.
I'm not doing it right now. It'll break, the audio on this system
we'll
that you use here will get pegged. Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, I want to hear it tomorrow for the first power play, and I know I'm just going to consider it especially for us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And my wife and her birthday. So
people make a lot of weird requests. So maybe I'll say Cody and Gary, your Anaheim Ducks, or and
that would be awesome. Hey, I'll tell you what. You know what would be even better for us?
What's that?
Say Vicky.
Oh. Yeah.
We're here for her birthday. Vicky, this is about how you want to do it. I'll let you decide how you want to do that. But
So, okay, in my head now, I say somebody's name who's having a birthday. Hey, Vicky, your Anaheim Ducks are on a JMG Power Play.
I
JMG,
love that.
And then everybody says Power Play. And then after they say that, they say, hi, Vicky.
That would be awesome.
JoJo is helping us get my mom's. We're wishing her happy birthday on the Jumbotron tomorrow.
Yeah. Jumbotron, by the way, just so you know, Jumbotron is a brand. It's owned by Sony. And the Ducks at Honda Center do not have a Sony product on the scoreboard. So
what do we call it?
You might notice I never call it the Jumbotron. I call it the video board or the big video screen or something like that. Okay, so just so you know. It's not I know the inclination is, Kleenex is to facial tissue and scoreboard screens. Jumbotron is the scoreboard screens, but we try not to do that, because if somebody from Sony was in the building and they've been trying to sell their Jumbotron to the building management, and we were calling a non-Sony product a Jumbotron, they might have a problem with that. So I just thought you'd know. You didn't make a mistake saying it, but I just, as a point of interest, now you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, okay, so JoJo is having a happy birthday message on the video board for my mom tomorrow.
No, what? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard it the first time.
I was just trying to make it more accurate this time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
But
you never stop learning, right?
Yeah, I mean, you learn something new every day, and I did not know that, actually. So
yeah.
But Phil, thanks again for hopping on and doing this interview with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, and like I said, let's go Ducks. Happy to have you as our PA announcer. You make the games so much more entertaining than they already are.
I appreciate that. Oh, by the way, is anybody going to see this?
Everyone.
Oh, it's going to go out. Every podcast platform.
Oh no!
And YouTube.
Oh, they're gonna love it.
Yeah, everyone's gonna love it.
You were awesome.
Send me the links. I'm happy to promote it.
Yeah, everyone I've told, they're like, dude, you got Phil? Like, I was like, yeah. So everyone's happy, and they can't wait to hear this.
Okay, great. Well, hello everybody out there, whoever you are.
All right. Well, thank you again, Phil. We appreciate it. And thank you to all our Royally Quack fans, and especially the Ducks fans for this one. And we'll see you guys next week on Royally Quacked.
A father and son, a bond so strong, talking hockey all day long. Royally Quack, their podcast show, sharing stories, highs and lows from the